Okay, so I'm going to record this. This is the one trait cross, and then we'll go straight into our lecture for 11-3, and we'll start our lecture for 11-3. So we're doing on the Star Wars genetics problems. We're going to do number 6. So everyone in Anakin Skywalker's family has the Force, determined by the amount of midichlorians in the body, which is a dominant trait. His family brags that they are a purebred line. He recently married a nice girl, Amidala, who does not possess the Force, which is a recessive trait. Create a Punnett square to show the possibilities that would result if Anakin and his new bride had children. Use a capital F to represent the Force and a lowercase f to represent not having the Force. It says Anakin Skywalker, definitely he has the Force, and he brags that his family has a long line of purebred, that everybody in their family has always had the Force. So what is his genotype likely to be?
Capital F, capital F.
Okay, another way to say capital F would be homozygous dominant. Homozygous dominant. Now, he marries Amidala, who does not have the Force. Homozygous recessive. Because if you are heterozygous and you have one of the dominant traits, are you going to have the Force?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because it's a dominant trait. So now doing the cross is easy, right?
Yeah.
So here's Anakin and Amidala. Anakin makes gametes. That's wrong. All of his gametes carry the dominant trait, and all of Amidala's gametes carry the recessive trait. Do you understand what I just did?
Yeah.
Yes. Now we do fertilization. Oh my gosh, it was kind of gross in the movie because he seemed to be a whole lot younger than she was. In the first movie, he was like 9 or 10, and she seemed to be like 15 or 16. And then in the second movie, he went through puberty, and it was all of a sudden all romantic. And then next thing you know, they're married at the end of the second movie, and then she's pregnant and having twins in the third movie. And you've seen this, right?
Mm-hmm. I've seen all of them.
Okay, YouTube world, this is what's wrong with this generation. They don't watch Star Wars.
I'll still see.
Okay. Well, go watch it. Watch 1, 2, and 3. They're not the best movies. The new ones that are coming out are way better. But you need to watch 1, 2, 3, and then watch the old school 4, 5, and 6 that came out in the 70s. Okay.
And then you gotta see 7.
Oh, heck no. Watch the digitally remastered ones. Those are the best ones. Okay. Anyways. All right. What is our genotype ratio? We're 100% heterozygous, and 100% of their offspring have the Force. Who are the offspring?
The twins.
The twins, and who are they?
I don't know.
Luke and Leia Skywalker.
Oh, I knew that. I just didn't know what you were talking about.
I'm talking about the lineage. Okay. Do you understand how to do this Punnett square?
Yes. Wait, the part that I didn't understand for 6 was D.
Would Anakin's children still be considered purebreds?
No.
Okay, here's Anakin's children. Are those purebreds? No, because this is a hybrid. They have the Force, but they're not purebred anymore. Yes, question.
So that means since they're a hybrid, that when they have kids, it lessens the chance of them to have the Force.
Yeah.
Ah, beautiful.
So
We're saying that Luke has children with someone else that has the Force, but he doesn't know anything about her background. What are the chances that they're going to have a child who does not have the Force? Bless you.
Like
50%, you think?
Yeah. Oh.
What's the percent that they'll have a child that does not have the Force?
25.
It's a 25% chance. That means that in every conception event, every time they have a child, there's a 25% chance that their child will not have the Force. 75% of the time, they're going to have it. Okay?
Imagine you're the one kid that doesn't get the force.
Imagine, really. It's like, all the other kids are moving stuff around, cleaning up their room with their mind, and you're the one that doesn't have the force and has to do everything by hand.
I would just quit. I just want myself.
Okay.
But
Okay, so now we're going to switch gears and we're going to look at other patterns of inheritance, other patterns of genetics besides, hey guys, got to quiet down because I'm recording. Other patterns of inheritance besides Mendelian genetics. Other patterns besides just what Mendel was able to view. Remember, when he looked at his peach plants, he was only looking at one trait at a time. Okay, he was only looking at one trait at a time. Sometimes we look at 2 traits at a time. And when we look at 2 traits at a time, so let's go back to pea plants and let's talk about, remember, tall is dominant to short. And we'll say that yellow is dominant to green. If we took a tall pea plant that was a hybrid for tall and hybrid for yellow, and we crossed it with another tall yellow plant, what would that Punnett square look like? You can write on page 23. That would be fine on the left, to the left of your notes. So you have some room. Because page 24 is where you have the body of your notes for 11.3. So we can use page 23. The first thing we need to do, this makes a really complicated Punnett square. So the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out what kind of sex cells can each parent make. The way I like to think about this is, I guess in IM2, you learn about polynomials and multiplying polynomials. And hopefully you learn the FOIL method first, inside, outside, last. Okay. All right, so, okay, so this reminds me of what I remember when you multiplied like the first 2 things and then the first one with the second one, and yeah, okay. Because we want to see what possible combinations of T's and Y's can we get. So if we get the T with the first Y, that's our first combination. But Mendel's third law, the law of independent assortment, says that just because we get the dominant trait for one factor, we don't have to have all dominant traits. We can have the dominant trait with the recessive trait too. So that's our second gamete possibility. What's another possibility? The little t with the big Y. And what's our last possibility?
The little t and the little y.
The little t with the little y. So this is why it reminds me of the FOIL method. First one with the first one with the second one with the first, second one with the second. I'm sorry, it's just that it reminds me of that. I try to connect things that are new to something that you might already be familiar with, so it doesn't feel so new. That's called scaffolding in teaching. It's adding on to what you already have in your brain, so it's
easier to catch.
All right. So watch it again. Big T with big Y. Big T with little y. Little t with big Y. Little t with little y. We put them in the same order that they were paired up. So because we put the t's first, we put the t's first again. Now, to do this Punnett square, it has 16 squares. You're never going to have to do a 16 square Punnett square all by yourself. Okay? That's not something you're going to have to do on the test. Question?
Why is it okay to put lowercase t with capital M.
Okay.
Capital T with
Okay, because this is different than this. You put the T first because the T's were listed first in the pair.
oh, okay.
Okay? So let me show you, though, what 4 lines down, 4 lines across.
You don't have to write this.
You don't have to. I'll tell you what you're going to be asked to do on the test. If you were given a Punnett square and they left a box blank and it was set up for you, could you fill in the box?
Yeah.
What would go in this box? That's not enough information.
Capital T, lowercase t.
Okay, put the T pair back together and the Y pair back together.
Oh, so
Big T, little y, little y. Okay? Okay. You have to put the, remember, chromosomes come in pairs, so you're putting the pairs back together. What goes in this box?
Big T, little t, and then little y, little y.
Okay, what goes in this box?
Little t, big y, little y.
Is everybody solid on that?
solid as a rock.
All right. Now, I already know the overall result of this Punnett square. It is 9, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. When you have a dihybrid cross and both of the parents are hybrid for both traits, okay? Dang it. You always get 9 to 3 to 3 to 1. Okay, listen, I'm going to put a Punnett square up for you guys on incomplete dominance. I want you to try to do it, to work it out tonight. It's going to be on Google Classroom.